everybody, Annette here. It's still Wednesday, June 4th. I'm like on a dock, and hopefully we won't be interrupted for these few minutes for our PNN pop-up. So yeah, this is where, you know, people get on their boats and go for a boating expedition. I'm in Gloucester. I'm not in, I was in Maine yesterday, but I couldn't get it together to do a video from Maine. But I hope you caught the PNN that I did last night. Kind of late, about Putin. It's a little too bright. I'll be real squinty if I take these off. And the connection to Dumpy and Putin, and the connection to the United States Congress, the MAGAs in the US Congress. And as a little bit of a side note, first off, hats off to Midas Touch for covering these hearings. I don't think the mainstream media would be covering the hearings based on what we know about mainstream media. So I'm so grateful to Midas Touch and the other pro-democracy channels that are covering these hearings that you might call, I don't know, I need to coin a phrase about the never answering with a yes or no answer to a simple question. It's driving me up the freaking wall, and I have a feeling it's driving you up the freaking wall too. That, and plus the stonewalling when they're asked a question, or the talking over. Stonewalling is when they just refuse to answer the question. Talking over, I call that snow plowing over. There's probably a different word for it. But when you just keep talking, it's like a filibuster. The most annoying, I mean, it's so annoying. It's designed to be annoying. Just answer the question. Blah, 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 blah. And it goes on for not like a few seconds, like minutes. Just answer the damn question. Blah, 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 blah. It's a yes or no. Blah, 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 blah. It's a yes or no. Blah, 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 blah. It's designed to infuriate you, but by divine design, it's designed to get you into a place where you're so effing angry at how wrong and how criminal and how they're conducting this total, like, the scam plan. I was just thinking, I had a thought in my mind this morning on my morning walk, that someday, I can see the book cover, there'll be a book called Donald Trump, The Sham Presidency, because that's exactly what it is. Think ShamWow. What was it? ShamWow, those wipey things, the infomercials. I do have cards. So Dumpy disappeared. You know how he loves to be in the spotlight. He loves to be in front of the camera. He loves to be on TV, throwing his weight around, his really heavy weight in terms of physical weight around. And we haven't seen him since the massive attack on Russia, on the Kremlin, on Moscow the other day. All of a sudden he disappears. I later heard he was commenting that he was talking to Putin. I don't think he calls him Putin. He probably calls him Daddy. I'm sorry. I'm kind of in a brutal mood over all this. Let's ask the pendulum. Was he talking to Putin? Yes, he was talking to Putin. This is a really lovely spot, by the way. It's just so nice. Yeah, I didn't think that I would be uninterrupted. There's somebody walking down. I'm sure they're friendly and everything, and they see that I'm just they'll probably just think I'm doing a FaceTime call. So we'll go ahead with it. But I'm going to keep talking so I don't wig them out. So I just want to say about that it's going to get a little crazy. Should turn around. It's going to get a little crazy. But it's not like it hasn't been crazy. So our resilience in the face of insanity is getting stronger. I'm going to just pull 3 cards about what Dumpy was doing after Ukraine did their spider web attack on all the Russian bombers they could hit. And the bridge that attaches Crimea to Russia. All of it. The world, the 6 of Cups, what they were doing on that call was this is what I'm picking up. He was flattering Dumpy. Interesting. 6 of Cups, trying to make him feel like family. Trying to convince Dumpy that Putin was trying to convince Dumpy that he's king of the world. Both of them. That Dumpy would be king of the world and Putin would be king of the world. The Page of Pentacles. Somebody's ratting out Dumpy. There's somebody who's ratting out Dumpy. But as far as the phone call goes, I'm picking up flattery. I'm picking up flattery coming from Putin. Flattery. Telling Dumpy how wonderful he is. That's so interesting because I know psychically, with my psychic knowing self, that actually somebody else coming. I know psychically that actually Putin is really mad at Dumpy. That's what I know actually. So we'll look at a few more things. I don't ever come here, but what I've noticed thus far in the past few minutes is that people, like, they walk down. I'll show you. It's a long walkway, and there's a launch pad down there for a boat. But apparently people they walk up and they walk down. It must be part of their walk. Anyway, I digress. It's just a little distracting. But they're polite enough to walk away after they've gotten that far. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards about these hearings. What they're basically doing, these MAGA Republicans are really annoyed. So I'm going to answer a couple of things. And what they're annoyed about is that they live in a democracy and they can't just out and out go ahead and just be authoritarian because they live in a democracy. They live in a democracy. And in a democracy there are hearings. And they need to be cleared through these hearings to get appointments. Every single one of them makes my skin crawl. Every single one of them. Every one that Dumpy has had appointed. When I hear their voices, when I just feel their energy, I just go, yeah. And I can't even listen to them. You know that song, You Can't Hide Your Lying Eyes? You can't hide your lying mouth. Is what I want to say to them, among other things I want to say. So here's what I'm going to look at. First, I'm going to look at Josh Hawley. And then I'm going to look at the outcome of these hearings where they're pushing the authoritarian agenda to the point that the so-called Secretary of Education, I think that's her title, she's so illegitimate, is trying to get in the school curriculum that the 2020 election was stolen from Dumpy. It's pathetic. What I'm going to look at right now is Josh Hawley, because Josh Hawley was all about, oh, let's not cut Medicaid and all this and that, and he had a problem with this murder bill. And then he had a meeting with Dumpy, and then he changed his tune entirely. You know, the kiss the ring, kiss the ass meeting. And so then he came back, and he was like, I talked to Trump. Was Putin on the phone too? Anyway, I don't need to know that. I don't think so. So 3 cards about, what can the cards tell us about Josh Hawley? I only brought my Witch's Tarot today. Coast is clear. I think sometimes people are curious. What is that lady doing? I plan to do outdoor videos all summer as long as I can find a spot. And there are plenty of spots. It's just going to be harder to have more private spots as the season gets going. Josh Hawley, this is what happened. Dumpy promised him something. Maybe Putin was involved. I get lots and lots of Page Cups lately, which represents we the people. Page of Cups. Josh Hawley is going to hear it from his constituents. We're still in a democracy. We remain a democracy. We show up at town halls. We call our representatives. We demonstrate and protest. We don't tolerate authoritarianism. It's just our identity. So as far as Josh Hawley goes, he's cooking up something. He's cooking up something to convince the other MAGAs in Congress to vote yes on the bill. It is Wednesday, so we'll get into it a little bit more tonight. I don't want to go over too many things, then you won't have a reason to show up tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern. It's Wednesday. Okay. And one more thing, I'm going to ask about these MAGA Republicans behaving as if they have a right to be authoritarian, like, and what would you call them? Authoritarians. Acting like they have a right to be them. And how that's going to go for them. In general, all of them. Try not to let the cards fall through the cracks here. All right. How it's going to go for the MAGAs who are in these hearings and going all authoritarian. Page of Cups. Well, they'll continue lying and lying and lying, but what I see here, the Page of Cups came up again. They're going to be under so much pressure. They're going to lie and lie and lie and not answer questions and go and just filibuster and talk over everybody and just be basically total assholes. Can I just say it? I just said it. They're going to continue to be on the defensive, but the Democrats have a whole lot to work with in terms of talking to their Democratic constituents and making a case. I really do feel a case being built for the American people to rise up and fight until we win. We have lots of ammunition when it comes to things to throw back in their faces. We're not an authoritarian nation. Whenever somebody starts talking on a video or on the news about that, oh, we're just heading into authoritarianism. Whenever they say we have to put up with 4 more years of this, turn it off. And by the way, I'm going to write a scathing feedback on CNN, telling them how horrible they are, and I want to encourage you all to do that too. There are many reasons you can point to, but it's because of this mainstream media attack on our truth, on the actual truth, and backing Satan incarnate for all this time, that we are in the place that we're in. That's what I blame the most. They've been working for the Kremlin. I have lots of evidence to back that up. All right, so I'll go for now. Please book a reading. It helps to keep me in business. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. But not just for that reason, because I've been in business for 31 years, and I'm listed in the Best American Psychics directory. So check it out. There's a good offer for new clients. And please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And when you join, you have access to my classes. The next one is going to be on using a pendulum, which is also called dowsing. That'll be starting next week. See you soon. Namaste. Thanks.